You're watching Mugen TV RPG Haven. Experience a fantasy like no other.
Hey guys, it's MugenLord here, and I'm back again with another video. And before we begin, I just want to let you guys know, if you haven't checked out my previous video related to RPGs, I advise you to go check it out. That's where I talked about possible remakes that Square Enix could pretty much potentially pull out their hat and revive and bring to a current generation. So if you're into that, I advise you to go check that out. I'll post it up in the card above. And I think it was pretty fun, and a lot of you guys got involved, and y'all gave me your opinion or gave me a suggestion of where Square could go and what other franchises they could revive. So go check it out. So in this video, we're going to continue on with some more RPGs. Now, I did mention at the end of the previous video where I said that I was going to do a playthrough of Dragon Quest XI Echoes of Elusive Age for Nintendo Switch, because they released a demo, and I decided that, hey, why not, let's go check it out and everything. So if you guys don't know my history with Dragon Quest, I'm not really big into Dragon Quest. It was always a war between Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. That's when Square and Enix were definitely they were separate companies. They was competing, and Enix was pretty much the father of RPGs at the time when they created Dragon Quest, but here Dragon Warrior, and then here comes Squaresoft with Final Fantasy. But when it came to which RPG that I enjoyed the most, I enjoyed the Final Fantasy series the most. So I never ever really played any of the Dragon Quest. Now it's quite funny that now that I'm much older, and this would pretty much be my first mainstream or mainline Dragon Quest games, because the only relationship and the only history that I have with Dragon Quest are the side games, which are right here, which I'll show you guys right here, which is Dragon Quest Heroes 2. Dragon Quest Heroes 2 is a pretty good game. I really enjoyed it. It's pretty much a mesh of RPG elements from the creators of the Dynasty Warriors gameplay. So if you play the Dynasty Warriors gameplay, you definitely know what I'm talking about as far as that gameplay is concerned. But what they did was they added the RPG elements. They added traveling on a pretty much an overworld, going to different towns, and it had some RPG story elements as well. So when they blended those two together, it made the mundane, or it made the repetitive combat of most Dynasty Warriors games much more interesting because of the RPG elements. And I also did a review on Dragon Quest Heroes 2 if you're interested in that, and then you may want to get into that game and give it a try. And this also has online multiplayer, and maybe I get to play with you guys in some cooperative play in Dragon Quest Heroes 2, because I do play it every once in a while. So if you're interested in wanting to see the review, I'll also post it up above in the card as well. And then another spin-off that got me quite familiar with some of the, I guess you say, the lore and other elements of Dragon Quest is Dragon Quest Builders, the first Dragon Quest Builders. I'm definitely going to pick up Dragon Quest Builders 2. Haven't got around to it, but it seems like there's a pattern here when it comes to these Dragon Quest spin-offs, because they took two different type of genres and meshed them together, and I'm able to actually enjoy them. Because like I said, I don't really like Dynasty Warriors, but once they added Dragon Quest to it and added the RPG elements, I end up liking the formula. And it's the same thing with Dragon Quest Builders. It's pretty much Dragon Quest and Minecraft coming together, and you have one hell of a game. And Dragon Quest Builders is another game that I really enjoy, and I'm definitely going to pick up the second game when I get a chance. So this pretty much the only knowledge that I have when it comes to Dragon Quest. So I figured that, hey, Nintendo and Square Enix, is really pushing Dragon Quest here really hard in the West, because they had a hard time trying to penetrate that barrier for Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is known to be very difficult, very hard, but it's a very widely accepted game in Japan. Japan eats Dragon Quest up, and it's quite funny how now that Sakurai had released Dragon Quest Hero as a playable character, I've been seeing a lot of advertisement for the Dragon Quest series ever since that happened and everything. So they really take this franchise really serious. So we're going to dive in. I wanted to explain a little bit of how I feel about Dragon Quest 11 demo, because when they released the demo, this demo was, from what's been said, is 10 hours long. So it seems like they're really trying to push this game, and not only push it, they're very confident in this product to give you 10 hours of gameplay. 10 hours of gameplay. And from what I understand from the demo and me playing it, that you can transfer whatever you earned from the 10-hour demo and you can bring it over to the retail version if you decide to purchase the retail version. So this is crazy. This is really crazy. But yes, I have bought Dragon Quest 11 back on the PS4 right here, and if you notice, you can hear the plastic and everything. I had bought this last year in December of 2018, and I caught it on sale for $40 and never opened it because, like I said, I have a backlog of so many games, RPGs, everything. And this is another RPG I won't get a chance to get my hands onto, but seeing it for $40, I couldn't just miss up on the opportunity to be able, to have this game at that price. So I was like, hey, why not? But what makes this version special for the Nintendo Switch is because this is the definitive version. And you notice right away once I turned it on and I wanted to give it a try, the visuals is beautiful. Toriyama's art style shines bright in this version, and from what I understand and see from the PS4 version and Nintendo Switch version, how they run, it looks like the PS4 version is the only version that runs at 60 frames per second. But when it comes to the Nintendo Switch, the best part about Nintendo Switch is the fact is that you can carry this game on the go. The quality isn't bad at all. You have some blurs in certain spots and everything, but it's not bad playing on a higher resolution or on whatever television screen or monitor that you're playing on. The game still looks gorgeous, still looks vibrant and colorful. Like I said, the art design and the direction they chose to go with this game is really, really good. And the opening with the CG cutscene with the opening of Dragon Quest 11 is really, really highly detailed, and I really enjoy what they decided to do as far as the art style in this game. Now, Dragon Quest in a way is a traditional RPG, turn-based. I mean, old school, and it seemed like people in the West and gamers in the West really don't click with turn-based gameplay mechanics, but it's quite different here. And I think because of the sales of how well it did in Japan, and even the PS4 version sold pretty well, it showed that there's still a place for traditional turn-based combat. And to pretty much put it into perspective, what they've done this time with the turn-based in this game, they made it free, I guess you say free controls. What I mean by that is there's two modes to how you can play the turn-based. You have traditional classic turn-based from Dragon Quest, and then you also have free camera or free controls where you're allowed to move your character in the perimeter of the battlefield, and you get to move around, and you can be able to position your characters where you want to position them, and you can still do your commands for your characters. Now, the only thing I want to let you know about this type of gameplay, which I tried it, I like the free, I'll keep it on the free mode and don't go back to the classic, but I guess Square Enix kept this in mind, that the fact is that that the West is really not too fond of, I guess you say, traditional turn-based, so they decided that, hey, let's at least give the player free control. They control the camera, control the character, position them where they want to position them, and pretty much go away at it. And that's what they decided to do. Now, I also want to let you know is that even though it's in free control where you're able to control the character, positioning your character has no effect on how much damage you take or anything. It's just allowed you to move the character around. So if you go behind your enemy, you don't take more damage from your enemy. Even if you space yourself out away from the enemy, it doesn't mean that the enemy is going to miss. It's going to flat out miss the attack. So just want to make that clear as well. As far as the music is concerned, this version of the game decided to go with a fully orchestra music set or music track for this game, and which I really think is a good idea, because from what I understand, the PS4 version, especially in Japan, it has no voice dialogue in the Japanese version, and the music in the PS4 version also has the traditional, I guess, say MIDI soundtrack of the music and everything. So the fact is that the definitive version has an orchestra soundtrack, which makes the music sound a whole lot better, because I'm not really a big fan the Dragon Quest music. I don't know, it's just something about the music. It sounds like my brother DX Strike says that Dragon Quest music, especially the opening theme, sounds like a high school. It's like your high school theme. Every high school or every school has their own theme song, and it's very, I don't know, marching band sound like. I don't know, I can't explain it, but I never liked the Dragon Quest soundtrack at all, because depending on the mood or the situation where you think that the mood is supposed to be hype or is supposed to be impactful. The music just doesn't fit the tone to me in the situation. But I've got to be honest that the music in here sounds really good, and the fact is that it's orchestra as well. It really does add an impact on the situations and the moods and the tone of the game as well. As far as story is concerned, the story really grabbed my interest because of the opening and everything, and I want to find out why the main character is the way he is, the hero, and why he's special. And also I want to know if that little girl that was protecting or that was running with the main character when he was a baby, I wonder if that little girl's the main character or one of the protagonists. The girl with the purple hair, I haven't really, like I said, I haven't gotten that far with the green outfit and everything. I wonder if that's her, and if that is the case, I can't wait to see these two meet together and really recognize each other. So I think that's pretty cool as well. So like I said, Dragon Quest is something that I've never been familiar with, but after playing Dragon Quest 11, I'm definitely going to sink my teeth into it. I'm definitely going to pick up the Nintendo Switch version, and I'm still going to open up the PS4 version because I pretty much think I'm going to do a review so I can be able to compare the two, or do a comparison video and everything, so maybe you guys can decide whether or not if you should get the Nintendo Switch version or if you should get the PS4 version of Dragon Quest 11. So that's pretty much it for this video. I really enjoyed the demo, and I don't want to. Oh, something else I left out for the demo. You also have two modes. You can play the game in 3D, or you can play the 3DS version, the 2D version, the classic way of this game as well. And you can switch anytime you want when you play it. So I think that's pretty good as well. But that also wraps up this video. If you enjoyed this video, and if you pretty much haven't decided whether or not that you want to play a Dragon Quest game, play Dragon Quest 11, I think you should really get in, check it out, especially if you love RPGs in general and you want that old school traditional JRPG feel, you know, that nostalgic feel. So I suggest you go check it out and play the demo. It costs nothing to try the demo on Nintendo Switch. So if you're a Nintendo Switch owner, I advise you to go check it out. If it's something that's up your alley, there you go. So this is MugenLord. If you want to hear more news concerning RPGs, Dragon Quest 11, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified in the near future. This is MugenLord signing off. See you Game Fiends later. Peace out. It looks like you reached the end of the video. Well, while you're at it, check out some of my other discussion videos by clicking on the annotations below, and don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms to stay up to date with future content. Signing off.